Hey guys, it's Dev Joshi again with a video tutorial in Java programming language. So today we're gonna learn about multi-threaded programming in Java, or what is a thread. Okay, so let's start. So basically a thread is a single type of code which is executed once at a time inside the processor. Don't understand anything? Then it's okay if you don't understand anything right now, because we are just creating a simple example on thread. But don't worry if you don't understand any single line in this program, because it's out of your syllabus, because I have not taught you anything about this. Okay, so just sit on a couch and have a look at it, that what I am just particularly trying to tell you that. Okay, inside A, now thread dot sleep for 1000 milliseconds. Exception E, okay, caught interrupted exception. It's basically a kind of interrupted exception, but we don't care, do we? No, we don't. Let's do one thing, just change it to BS, and let's do one thing inside B. Okay, so now we are creating our two kind of threads. The thread, now sorry, we need to create the object of both of the class as, a equal to new as, okay, bs, b equal to new bs. Okay, so that's it. Now we are creating a thread t equal to new thread a, and thread t1 equal to new, sorry for that, thread B. Sorry. Now we are starting both of these threads. T dot start and T1 dot start. Now let's have a look at what is actually going to happen. Okay. So you can see here that our program is getting printed here. That inside A, inside B, inside A, inside B, inside B, inside A, inside B, inside A, inside B, inside A. This is totally kind of random thing right here. Okay, so what is happening? Let's just understand it by some particular thing or some particular example. You can see here that this thing is happening parallelly inside our computer. Okay, till today we just learned about something that are just happening line by line. The first, if you just have two lines code, in the first line you are printing hello and in the second line you are printing world, then we know that the compiler starts execution from the main method, which is a main thread basically. So this thread executes number one, then compiler creates the object, then compiler again creates the object, then compiler creates a thread with an runnable interface, and again a thread with runnable interface but of class BS and here of class AS. Now it starts our T, which T indicates that it starts our A class, in which we have implemented a public void run of runnable interface. Don't worry if you don't understand anything. The core concept of this tutorial is basically that you need to understand what are threads, particularly in Java. So threads are basically that if you have two threads, then they can be executed concurrently or they can be executed parallelly inside our processor. Okay, so if you might have some sort of knowledge about processors, then you might be knowing that there are some sort of cores inside our processor. Basically, if you have an i7 processor and if you have a quad core, then you must be having 4 cores inside your processor, in which the number of threads are mentioned in your core when you just buy from a laptop vendor. Okay, but that doesn't matter here, because you can think here that you are just doing parallel programming here, but that's not the case, because basically what is happening that the compiler is switching between these two threads very instantly or very fastly, that you can't recognize if it's parallel programming or it is switching. Okay, so this is the meaning of thread, that you can actually have two kind of things running concurrently at a particular time. You think that thing is happening particularly at a particular instant of time, but that's not the case. Okay, So this is all about thread, but I told you that there are two kind of multi-threaded programming. Okay, number one is with threads, and number two is with processes. Okay, so what basically are processes? Processes are this kind of, yeah, you just click start menu or processes open. You just click modern warfare icon and the game starts playing. Okay, you just click here and you can roam here. So that's all processes are. But what's the difference between a thread and a process? The core difference between both of them is a process has another address memory, while a thread, any n number of threads can execute at a single particular memory slot inside your RAM. But every process needs another memory slot inside your RAM. Okay, that's the biggest difference between a thread and a process. So if you just want to have two threads communicate with each other, which we will learn in our upcoming tutorials, that it's really easy because everything is happening inside your particular house. You just first imagine that processes are like a joint family. Sorry, threads are like a joint family, while processes are like joint family but living in a row of houses. Okay, so you can think of that. Inside thread, if you want to communicate with your brother, but you are in a joint family, you are a thread. So you are living in a joint family in a single house. Okay. So if you want to communicate with your brother, then it's very easy for you to communicate. You just go to his room and just tell her whatever you need to. But if you are having a process, then you are living in a row, okay? And then if you just want to communicate with your brother, then you need to go to his house, you need to go to his room and to tell him whatever you need. So basically processes develops overhead while threads don't develop overhead. Okay, so what is overhead? It means that I don't know if you have just been through some kind of, what you say, it's like competitive programming, okay, just like HackerOut or CodeChef. I recommend you to do it. But if you have been to them, then you might be knowing that kind of compiler records your compilation time. Okay, so if you are running on processes, then that compilation time will increase. But if you are running on thread, then that time will eventually decreases compared to process. Okay, so this is basically about thread. So threads means you can concurrently run two kind of programs at a particular time. Here is our first program, class BS, and here is our second program, class AS, which we are running concurrently at a particular period of time. You can see here. So you might be eager about knowing that how may I create a thread, but wait for some time. I'm going to tell you in my upcoming tutorial. The core concept of this tutorial is to just explain you the difference between thread and processes and what is the meaning of thread. So if you have any questions regarding threads or processes or the difference between them in Java, then please write it down in comments. And if you like my videos, then please write it down in comments so that I get motivated in creating more videos, and please share it to the maximum so that everyone can learn Java. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day.